Cool, I got this MT5 Plus. Let's gut it. Oh crap. What the hell just happened? I'll tell you exactly what just happened. We got a driver where it don't belong. So here's the core from the other half of this thing. So you can see the orientation here. I've got the driver stuck in this hole. Now, luckily, in this one I still have the ball bearing in place. There's a ball bearing that goes inside this hole that fills it up, so it's a lot easier to get out. Just a quick side note, one of my favorite YouTubers in lock sport, Potty1314, his solution to this is just to fill this entire hole full of solder. Just solder it, sand it flat. But another thing you can do is put a bunch of grease on that bearing, or even just glue it in so it never falls out. But this is something that happened to me for the first time recently, so I had the privilege of recovering from this. And I think this is something a lot of people have seen before, but in conversation recently there was some disagreement about how to hit this, because the way to fix it is to hit it and turn the key. But there's a little disagreement about how to hold it, which direction to hit. Are we going up? Are we going down? And I think a lot of that just happened to be because there was some disagreement about orientation. We were all kind of talking about different scenarios. So I just wanted to go over the physics of how this works real quick. And in order to help me, I made a model of a lock out of a Talenti gelato jar. Not only good for cold soaking, you can also do physics with them. So this is our lock. I'm going to hold it at an angle so it's pointed straight at the camera, but in this case, here's our driver and gravity is our spring. So you need the spring is pushing the driver down into that hole, and you need to get that driver up in order to turn the plug. So the way you do that is you hit the lock down, and the driver's momentum will just or its inertia will cause it to kind of hang there for just a brief second and then come down. And it's in that window of time, that boop, that you want to turn the key. The other way to think about it is, instead of hitting the lock with a hammer or the handle of a screwdriver, you can also hit the lock on a table. And in that case, before you're hitting the lock in the opposite direction that you want the driver to go. You're hitting the lock down to make the driver go up, sort of. The driver's not moving. It's the lock that's moving down out from underneath the driver. But if you flip it over, you're hitting it down to make the driver go down, and it's because the difference is we're talking about positive acceleration versus negative acceleration. But if you want to have a big brain moment, you can completely redefine your system. Say that this is coming down and everything has more or less a constant velocity before it hits the table. You can redefine your frame of reference so the lock is stationary. And then what happens? You're hitting the lock with the table exactly like this. It's the same thing. So imagine sitting at a red light and you get rear-ended really hard and your head gets snapped back into the seat. Your head doesn't go back. The car goes forward around you. That's what we're doing with this. So the way I found to do this was I took my cool Medico beanie, used that kind of as a crash pad to absorb the force and let the lock move down a little bit, because if it doesn't move down, nothing's going to happen. I tried doing it just in my hand, and it was painful and unproductive, because you need a sharp impulse, and then you also need the lock to continue moving to give yourself enough time. So I'm just going to hit and turn. Oops, got it first tried when I was practicing. Oh, come on. There we go. So that's all there is to it. All right, have a good day.